Hello everyone and welcome back to Natural Beauty by Anna. I'm Anna and today I'm gonna tell you about my special cleansing routine. Why is it special, you may wonder? Well, because I don't use it every day and that makes it special for me. But also because this is not the usual cleansing step that you introduce in your everyday cleansing routine. This is a 3 steps routine that is all about cleansing and exfoliating, which is part of cleansing. It takes a little bit of time, so you should have between half an hour and an hour set aside just for this routine if you want to do it. It provides a deeper cleanse, exfoliation, but it's also harsher than your everyday cleansing method, so you wouldn't want to use this kind of a routine too often. However, once a week for me it's fine. I think for most people it would be fine. It also depends on your skin type. I have acneic skin, slightly sensitive, mostly because of the acne, which means that this routine is the harshest I ever go in my skincare routine. For most people, however, this might not be considered a harsh skincare routine at all. However, you want to be mindful, listen to your skin, listen to what it needs, and if you're not sure about all of these steps, maybe try introducing them one at a time to see what works for you and what doesn't. As I said, there are 3 steps to this routine, so let's get going with the first step: green tea and Himalayan salt face wash. First, the ingredients that I have used are 1 teaspoon of green tea leaf, 1 teaspoon of green tea powder, and half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. The green tea leaf and the green tea powder pretty much do the same thing. They have the same purpose. And there is no particular reason why I like to mix both of them. I think if I had to choose only one, I would go with the powder because I feel like the powder makes the wash way more concentrated and it's more effective when applied to the skin. I made my mixture into a medium-sized bowl and I filled the bowl to the top with hot water. Be careful though that you don't use boiling water. You don't need to boil your mixture. You only need it to be hot, same as when you're making tea for drinking. Afterwards, I'm setting my mixture aside for a little bit to let it cool down. You are not supposed to apply hot water directly to the skin on your face as it might cause sensitivity and it might even cause burns. When the mixture is warm or lukewarm, I use a small face towel to dip it into the water and then apply it to my skin, kind of like you would a face mask. And in this case, I use the white towel. Not really the smartest idea because this mixture will stain your towel. So it would probably be a smart idea to have one face towel set aside, especially for this skincare routine, and use it for the same process over and over again. I go back and dip the towel into the water several times, reapplying it to my face, and I'm always making sure to not miss my neck, chin, and under chin area as well as my forehead. As for the ingredients and why I chose them, the green tea when applied to the skin helps reduce sebum secretion, which can lead to acne. Now, of course, sebum is not necessarily the root cause of acne or not even the only cause of acne. However, controlling sebum secretion is definitely an important step when you want to reduce your acne. As for the Himalayan salt, it has antimicrobial properties and it is said to absorb dirt and toxins from your body, which makes it an excellent ingredient for this first step of the cleansing routine. On top of that, the use of water and keeping a damp towel on your face helps open up your pores and loosen up the dead skin cells, preparing your skin for the next step. Step number 2, corn flour and coffee exfoliant. The ingredients that I'm using for this exfoliant are 1 teaspoon of coffee grounds, 1 teaspoon of corn flour, and 1 teaspoon of your carrier oil of choice. In this case, I went with the avocado oil. Now, I have made coffee exfoliants before, but I particularly like the texture of coffee grounds as an exfoliant. I feel like it does a great job at, exfoliating without irritating my skin. And on top of that, I also really like the smell of it, and that's a bonus for me. If you like the smell of coffee, it's a bonus for you also. The corn flour, however, is a new ingredient for me. I have only started using it recently, and I have read about it that it is a very gentle but effective exfoliant, and that it does a great job at removing the dead skin cells without drying your skin. As for the carrier oil, this time I went with avocado oil because of its wound healing properties. I have recently had an acne breakout and now I'm dealing with the aftermath of that. so I want my skin to heal faster. However, I am switching up the carrier oil pretty much every time I am making this exfoliant, depending on what I feel like my skin needs each time. Using an exfoliant is pretty easy. You just apply it to your skin and rub it gently without pulling your skin too much. The oil should make your mixture slightly slide on your skin as you're rubbing it, and if it doesn't, then it's possible that your mixture is just a little bit too dry and you need to add some extra oil. The third and last step of my cleansing routine is an activated charcoal mask. And the ingredients that I'm using for this mask are half a teaspoon of Australian olive green clay, half a teaspoon of activated charcoal powder, 1 teaspoon of aloe vera juice, and half a teaspoon of honey. I mix the ingredients with a face brush, same brush that I will use later on to apply the mask to my face. And one note that I have to make here is that while charcoal powder has no scent to it while it is dry, once it gets wet, it has a very pungent, muddy scent to it, so be prepared for that. And then using the brush, I apply the mask to my skin, making sure that I cover all of my face and neck area, which I do for all 3 of these steps actually, in case I haven't mentioned it before. As for the reasons why I'm using these ingredients for my masks, activated charcoal powder is very efficient in removing impurities from your skin by absorbing toxins and removing bacteria from your pores. And as a side note here, if you've ever used a charcoal mask before, then you know how well it gets into every single one of your pores. And when you remove it, you can actually feel how well it cleans out your skin. And by removing these impurities and toxins, it obviously reduces acne breakout. I don't even have to mention it anymore. I think acne is my top enemy and I will take whatever steps I can to make it go away. The Australian olive green clay has similar pore cleansing properties, but in addition to that, it also helps stimulate circulation in your skin and it helps healing blemishes, which is also something that I was very happy about because, as I mentioned, I did have an acne breakout recently and I wanted to get rid of the after effects of it as soon as possible. The aloe vera gel juice has great hydrating properties and it also serves as the watery base of this mask. As for honey, in addition to its antibacterial and healing properties, it also helps the mask have a more jelly-like consistency so that when it dries on your skin, it doesn't start flaking out and getting all itchy, which is one aspect of clay mask that I don't usually enjoy. The only issue of this mask is that it's very hard to remove. You will have to use either a cleansing lotion or an oil to completely remove it from your skin, and you will probably have to remove it in the shower. That's what I usually do, and I usually use jojoba oil to completely wash it off my skin. So that was it. These are the 3 steps of my special cleansing routine. However, you want to follow this with your regular hydrating and moisturizing routine. And because this cleansing routine is a little bit harsh, like most cleansing routines out there, in my opinion, you should avoid sun exposure because your skin is more sensitive, more prone to sunburn. In fact, you should do this routine in the evening, before bedtime. Now, before following this skincare routine, there are 2 things that you have to pay attention to. First of all, obviously make sure that you are not allergic to any of these ingredients before applying them to your skin. And second, if you're not familiar to any or most of the ingredients used in this routine, maybe try to introduce the steps one by one. And second of all, if you are not familiar with most or all of the ingredients used in this routine, maybe try to introduce the steps one by one, like on different days and far enough apart so that you will see the effects of each one of them. Like, what does the mask do? What does the exfoliant do? If you introduce all of these steps at the same time, you won't be able to tell which ones are good for you and which ones are not. That being said, that was it for my video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like my video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!